Fog Racing back again with another video. 2023 is around the corner, so let's look back at the previous year where Ferrari started the year on top, Mercedes bottled it, but Max Verstappen ultimately came out top and dominated the entire year, way more than we thought, because we didn't even predict them to win the title. We predicted a certain Charles Leclerc. There was 22 drivers involved in the championship. We didn't know that.
Well, hold up, wait a minute. If you actually end the championship after the first four races, our predictions probably look decent. Apart from Sainz, I think in the first four races he done absolutely hee-haw. But in terms of Leclerc, I mean, it was looking good after 4 or 5 races. I mean, he certainly had... there was no reason to believe that Verstappen was going to run away with it. But then...
he did.
Ferrari being Ferrari, you know.
Exactly. But, you know, Hulkenberg and De Vries finished 21st and 22nd. We didn't rank them because we didn't know... Well, I mean, I guess you could argue we could have known about Hulkenberg because Vettel jobbed out with COVID. But we didn't. De Vries got points. Hulkenberg didn't. We move on. But in 20th place in real life... Well, say real life. In actually the way it finished was Nicholas Latifi. And to be honest... the fact that none of us went with Latifi...
that's embarrassing. We deserve a shot. I'm disappointed that none of us got that.
If there was anything about a slam dunk for this, it surely had to be this.
Well, in my defence, I was under the illusion that Haas were going to be horrible.
Well, I thought they wouldn't be. I kind of guessed they wouldn't be because they had the most time to put into the car, and they actually said openly during the 2021 season we've been developing all year.
Well,
and I actually mentioned this in this
well, did the development really work for them? I mean, I wouldn't say they done. Oh, no, they weren't the worst
well,
team.
Well, from
but...
being like 2 seconds off Williams in 2021.
Okay, there was an improvement. There was an improvement.
Start of the year, Magnussen qualified, what, 5th? You know what I mean?
Got
first race. Exactly. Yeah.
But end of the day, look, we didn't get it right, so.
We didn't. But anyway, right, I went with Guan Yu Zhou, and you went with Mick Schumacher for the simple reason that Haas are shite, correct? 19th place, Alexander Albon in the Williams. This year, Williams they were the slowest car. I went with Latifi here.
The only thing I'll say is you had Latifi lower down than I did, so maybe...
it's a point for me.
It's a bit of a stretch, but I guess if you want to take that point...
You'd Magnussen...
that's like getting a point for the fastest lap, you know? It doesn't really...
yeah.
It's a bit cheap.
You'd Magnussen in 19th. He actually finished 13th, so I mean, that is a pretty big gap, 6 places.
Also, someone might be asking, why the hell are you doing... you're reacting to predictions come late January.
Why not?
Exactly.
We gotta do it, brother. Anyway,
look, if a bunch of tick the boxes can get hired on our channels, then we're allowed to do our preview a little bit late.
The guy was unlucky this year. Guan Yu Zhou, 18th place. That was good. I like that. But he came in at 18th place. Very unlucky with reliability. You put him 14th. I put him last. We're at halfway. Well, I'm actually closer.
Yeah, you're closer again. There's a pattern developing here.
Yep. 17th, Yuki Tsunoda. I put him 13th. You put him 15th. You were closer. Any thoughts on... I thought he had a really shit year.
He started okay.
But you know what? He was helped by the fact Gasly was... not I wouldn't say he was abysmal, but Gasly was off it this year. The car was off it too.
See with Shinoda, am I right to assume that he's getting to the end of, like, you know, last year? Could this be the season where he needs to do something or he's gone? Because I know you're going to argue, well, he's in the B team and they don't expect him to... I disagree. Look, they only really keep people around in that seat if they think they've got potential to one day be a Red Bull driver. And I'm just not seeing that for Shinoda.
Absolutely not. And the fact next year you've got the partnership of him and De Vries. De Vries is 27. First year in F1.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's a weird one, guys. But yeah.
I think this upcoming season could be... oh, I think it'll be Shinoda's last season at AlphaTauri.
It probably will be, and I think it was last year in F1. 16.
Unless they bring a Japanese team in. Maybe I'd take Shinoda and Sato.
Honda, come on.
Takuma Sato!
I put Schumacher... well, no. Schumacher finished 16th. I put him 17th. You put him last, so it's another point to me.
Well, actually, when I went Schumacher last, I was referring to Michael.
Were you?
Right.
Well, he was always going to finish last, wasn't he? You know?
Sorry, guys. Bad joke there.
He fucking...
I'm trying to make excuses for my shit predictions, but there isn't... the truth is, there is no excuse.
Schumacher slept through his alarm. Missed the entire season. Anyway.
Well, how's Thingy Schumacher doing? Ralph's son?
He's pish. Lance Stroll, 15th. I got it spot on. The first spot on prediction.
Lance Stroll, eh? Lance Canadian boy Stroll. Pay driver, brother. You know what? I actually thought... I used to defend Lance Stroll, but he got beat by a fucking Dun Vettel, so there's no defending him anymore.
Yeah, and both of them got shafted by questionable strategy. 14th was Gasly, really low down for him. I actually went 9th.
I'll tell you what, either Vettel was good towards the second half, or the Aston Martin got a lot quicker and Alonso's made the right decision.
I think Aston Martin is the right decision.
I've got a feeling. I think there's more chance of Alpine being faster than Aston Martin, but in terms of delivering a race-winning car, I think there is more chance. I just think Aston Martin are more likely to get it right than Alpine. For me, I don't see Alpine getting it really wrong. I don't see them. You know what I mean, for me, they're always going to be around the 4th, 5th fastest team. Whereas I do think there's a chance Aston Martin could produce a banger.
Exactly.
But I think there's also a good chance they could produce a shite car.
They've got a Mercedes engine. That helps.
Yep.
The Renault engine, apparently, for the next season, has not got any horsepower. Any horses getting galloped into.
GP2
engine. Next up, Kevin Magnussen, 13th. I actually put him 12th. You put him 19th. Again, it's another victory for me.
Tell you what, I'm actually shocked. See, every time I see this guy's age, I always assume him to be like 35 or something.
Was he 29?
Aye.
Been right for ages though. Vettel finished 12th. I put him 14th. You put Sebastian Vettel 16th. So again, it's a point for me. And Vettel here. I mean,
basically, one of us knows fuck all about F1.
You could argue that. 11th, Danny Ricciardo. I got him right again.
You could argue it. The predictions are arguing it.
So that's two for me. 2 at the first 9 or 10. 2 at the first 10. That's no bad.
Fuck, did I get any right?
No, not so far. You know what? The only reason Ricciardo's finishing 11th is because the competitiveness is the McLaren. He was fucking abysmal. I don't care what anyone says. He was awful.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. There was a period where the McLaren did kind of go. Like, there was a period for the season where they weren't that great, but I mean,
first 2 races they were the third slowest car.
Overall, they did improve, and that's why Ricciardo, is what it is.
It is what it is. So I got that right. 10th place, Valtteri Bottas. I put him 16th. You put him 12th.
I tell you what, though, if we were rating the drivers on like ability and how they performed, fucking Ricciardo wouldn't be 11th. Tell you that, he'd be doing the bottom.
He'd be above Latifi, and that's about it.
Would he?
Latifi went the wrong way at Suzuka.
Well,
when you start going the wrong way on a track, I think
he deserved last place, like, don't he?
He went the wrong.
He deserved a place on the fucking.
He went the wrong way. And he radioed over the radio. I don't know what went wrong there, guys. Something's up with the car. He made the fucking guy sitting in the car tool cut him.
Oh god!
Bottas 10th. You win that.
You know what? Very impressive start to the season, but unfortunately he couldn't continue it. And I don't know why, but the F1 manager game has completely overrated this guy to the point where he's battling for 5th in every single race at the start of the season.
Literally, I know.
And Guang Wang Su can barely go to fucking Q1.
I know, a bit disgrace that, in my opinion.
And I think
overrated him big
they rate him as the 3rd best driver in the game, which
he's just not.
If he was the 3rd best driver in the game, he'd still be at Mercedes.
See, if he was the 3rd best driver,
Mercedes would tie him into a long-term contract, not a year annually.
And all the years he was against Lewis in 2021, would he not have been like within a sniff of the title?
He would have won a title one of these times, or at least got close.
Yeah, not out of it with 10 races to go.
I think the closest he ever got was the 4th race to the end, which is
embarrassing. All right, 9th place, Fernando Alonso. We talked about Joe having bad luck. This guy probably had worse luck than Joe. I mean, literally, I think it said 45% of the races he had engine problems. I mean, that's mad.
It's the only reason he got beat off Ocon, wasn't it? If we're being honest, I actually think it's sad. See, anyone, the naked eye would look at these stats and go, "Oh, look at that, Alonso got beat by his teammate." But anyone who actually watched this season, God, there was so many times. I mean, nearly every single race, Alonso was outperforming Ocon. Even the races where Ocon was finishing, they both finished. Even the races where Ocon was ahead, there was always like a really bad strategy, or a yellow flag would come out at the safety car, virtual safety car at the wrong time would screw Alonso. It was kind of sad. I mean, I know he's never had good luck, so it's not surprising, but Ocon can't really look in the mirror and go, you know what, I beat Alonso. He didn't.
I know he didn't, but we're talking about Ocon. He's in 8th place. I put him 10th. You put him 11th. Obviously, I win that, but again, very close. Nothing much really in it. if we're being honest. Norris, though, he finished best of the rest. I actually put him 6th above Russell, which is, I mean, it is controversial, but look at his 2021 season. He was fucking, I think there's a case for Norris being driver of the season in 2021. I know Max and Hamilton were on a different level, I guess you could, but it's the machinery.
Exactly.
Norris was like fucking battling for wins when he had no.
Yeah, they were on a different level in terms of, you know, always being 1 and 2 and all that and winning, but I mean that doesn't necessarily mean just because you're winning sheer that doesn't mean you're driving better than a guy that perhaps in a midfield car.
Yeah, like people are going to mark out about George Russell this season, right? Because he beat Hamilton, he got 4th, right? But realistically, see after like the first 5 races, Mercedes was clearly the 3rd fastest car.
Yep.
The worst you're going to finish is 6th.
I think Hamilton had some bad luck this year.
Yeah. You know, again though, Norris, I went 6th. You actually got Norris right.
I got Norris right, but on the Russell point, I would actually argue that this wasn't Russell's best season.
Getting the front row in a Williams.
I think
the best.
See some of those. Well, he earned the nickname Mr. Saturday by getting into, and some of those Williams cars just didn't belong in Q2 or Q3, and he done it a few times. So
he got in the front row with Williams.
Yeah, for me,
twice.
That deserves.
Did he get it twice? I think he got it in Russia too. I might have been 3rd.
I mean, that deserves some praise. Like
it does. 6th.
Even last year, you know, his first race in a Mercedes, he was going to win it. Was that 2020?
I thought it's a long while.
Fuck me, is that really 2020?
Aye.
Oh, fuck, that's mad.
Anyway, Lewis Hamilton 6th.
By the way, I think that says more about Bottas than it does Russell, though.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Bottas is fucking dug me. I mean, the fact like Perez and Ocon's beating him. I mean, Bottas was finishing like 8th.
I think that's what lost Bottas' seat at Mercedes.
It's just not good enough, isn't it? No.
See when the guy that they've got that come in the development program beats the guy that's actually already in the car. I mean, that's when you know it's. And I didn't think he would. I thought Bottas would have won that weekend pretty easy.
He should have, but he didn't. Lewis Hamilton though, 6th place. We both went with 4th. Again, we did think Mercedes were going to be bad this year, but I just didn't expect them to finish 6th.
Yeah, they improved. Like it's just Hamilton just didn't really get the results. But in fairness, there wasn't that much between Hamilton and Sainz. I don't believe.
No, there wasn't. There really wasn't. But again,
can we see?
Can we see? If you want to see, we can fucking see. But as you actually have to scroll over.
Oh, for God's sake! There was 6 points. Not a lot.
6 points in it, guys.
Not a lot. So there you go. 6
Brilliant.
points.
What's that all about, mate?
Couple of, I mean, that's a DNF here and a DNF there.
A DNF here, a DNF there. But Hamilton, yeah, no, obviously not his best season. Sainz, 5th. Really good second half of the year, but it came when Ferrari weren't as good.
It did, so, I mean.
Like, realise, Sainz has his second half of the year and the first half of the year. I mean, Ferrari would have been doing well in the Constructors.
Yeah, they
could have took points off Max.
Yeah.
Which would have helped Leclerc.
I think Leclerc was kind of lucky in it. Not lucky, but I think it's definitely fair to say that Leclerc was the better driver, the Ferrari driver in the first half of the season. Sainz was the better Ferrari driver second half of the season.
Yeah, I'd say so.
But luckily for Leclerc, when he was driving better, the Ferrari car was better. By the time Sainz start putting good performances, a good driver Sainz was maybe getting him 4th or 5th. Or maybe sneaking a podium. Whereas earlier in the season, a good driver Leclerc was winning him a race. So I think that's why there's a massive gulf.
Yeah.
But if you base it on the season over in performance, I don't think there was that much between Sainz and Leclerc. But Leclerc capitalised and performed better when the car was scoring more points. So
I agree. George Russell, though, 4th place. I put him 7th, you put him 6th.
Well, we had his teammate in 4th, so we kind of...
Yeah,
we thought the lead Mercedes car would be 4th.
Not many people would have put
And it was the lead Mercedes car was 4th. Just Hamilton wasn't driving it.
Exactly.
It was Russell, so I mean... Do we get half a point for that?
No points.
No points.
But Sergio Perez, 3rd. And you know what?
We both put him 5th.
Is it not a bit inexcusable that he didn't get 2nd? Like, let's be real.
I know, but Leclerc did build up a pretty big gap, didn't he? I tell you what, Perez went off the boil, though, didn't he? Halfway through the season.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what
happened. He crashed on purpose at Monaco. What did he drive on shite purpose too, son? I don't know, but we both put him 5th. He finished 3rd. He could have got 2nd in Abu Dhabi, but kind of got fucked over by Max and Brazil,
I put him 5th because I didn't realise how good the car was going to be.
Yeah, I know.
If I knew how good the car was going to be, I'd probably put him 2nd, but
Yeah, or at least third.
least third.
Second place, Charles Leclerc. We both thought he'd win the title. He didn't.
He could have.
He could have, but he didn't. I don't think he. I mean, Ferrari.
They couldn't like.
Ferrari could have nailed strategy, and Max still wins the title easy. In the end, in my opinion.
Well, I think what happened is Ferrari were, I wouldn't say they were dominant, but they had the better car in the opening like five races or whatever, and they just didn't take advantage of it. Like they should have had a much bigger points gap than they did.
I know.
So
and even after that, when
there was times they were throwing away wins and shit like that.
Engines breaking down. I mean, it'll be a year of what if for Ferrari, but like you can say, "Oh, Max." I know I just said he could have won it easy, but if Ferrari have a gap going into the second half of the season, that affects the mindset.
Do you remember after the fourth race, they were questioning, like there was articles and stuff. Is the title over? They were like saying, "Can Leclerc be caught? Can Leclerc be caught?" Remember that?
I was after Australia, third race.
I thought it was fourth.
I think he was 39 points behind Max or something. Max was behind.
I think it was 43.
43?
I think it was 43. But they were all saying, because the Ferrari did look good at that stage, and they were thinking, oh, he can't be caught. Well, we're thinking, well, it's Ferrari at the end of the day, I guess. And he did get caught, and I tell you what, it didn't even take that long. I mean, it's not like it took Max to the halfway point.
No, I was thinking it was within 3 or 4. He was way in front.
Yeah, because I think
Spain, he was way in front.
Max won a couple of races. I think Leclerc had a couple of DNFs, and before you know it, like 3-4 races later, Max had almost like a race victory over him. It was like, how the hell did this title?
So yeah, we botched the title. Max won the title, of course. We put him second. You know what? Like, you're always going to get the same people up at the top. I mean, I know I put Norris above Russell, which again is questionable, but I just thought with new regs, McLaren would be a lot better, and considering his form, I think there's no reason why it was stupid of me to put him in there. But again, the other cars are just so much off the top three, he had no chance realistically. So that's it, guys. We'll be back with our 2023 predictions. I got 2 correct, and you got 1. 2-1.
2-1.
2-1 to Red Bull. Unlucky Red Bull, thought you drove awfully well today.
Apart for you, Perez. You crashed on purpose.
We might react to the constructors, but at the end of the day, who gives a fuck about the constructors?
It's another Fed, of course we'll be reacting to the constructors.
Goddamn, put it in your diary. 25th of January. But until next time, who's going to win 2023?
Alonso.
Aye, with fucking Lawrence Stroll's suitcase. Woo!